I know you guys are wondering where my month of mayhem content is, and it's kind of hard for me to explain what actually happened to it for you to actually see it. So basically, whenever I try to react to a video per se, I don't know what it was this year, but last year I had it easy. This year, however, apparently my month of mayhem, like whenever I react to that video, like it was my video will not be aligned with um the time that I'm recording. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but basically what I'm trying to say is that I'll record the month of mayhem video, and then after that, after I record it, think I okay, I did a good job. Um I would react to it, and then I would just like watch, like the video would like slow down. It won't show me like the whole thing, which is kind of obnoxious because I worked so hard on it. But I'm gonna give it a go this weekend, maybe either Thursday or Friday, even on weekdays, and see if I can get it done. If I don't necessarily get it done this weekend, I might have to drop like 3 or 4 videos this week. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, welcome back to On the Sideline. I'm your host, Kean Lee. In this week's episode, we recap the craziness out of week 6 of the NFL season, discuss why I'm officially, after 6 weeks of NFL football, and buying Patriots stock. Um, why I think this Steelers team is a lot different than the Steelers teams in the past. Obviously, like the post Big Ben era. Let me just remind you, post Big Ben era. And more. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please get a like, subscribe, turn on that post notification bell. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So start with, before we start, let's start with the elephant in the room and let's talk about what my schedule is going to look like next week. Because as many of you guys know, season 3 of the Courtside podcast is officially coming out. That upload is going to be either dropped either on next Sunday or either next Monday. I haven't decided yet just because, you know, next week's a little bit weird week for me, because I might be going to Portland a little bit early or something like that. I don't know. And then hopefully on next Sunday, hopefully next week I have a month of mayhem content video out. Maybe it's the new one, the Three Idiots maybe one. There's only been one this year, by the way, you guys. There's only been one this year. And, you know, but yeah, enough about me yapping. Let's get into week 6 of the NFL season. Let's start with the Eagles and the Giants. And this game was actually pretty competitive for like the first quarter. I mean, Eagles and Giants were trading blows. I think if I look at the scoring summary, they went back and forth, you know. I mean, Jalen Hurts had 203 yards passing and a touchdown. He also had a rushing touchdown. Saquon Barkley had 58 yards rushing. Dallas Goedert God, what is that name? The receiving group, I should say, with 110 yards receiving, 80 yards for AJ Brown. Devontae Smith had 49 yards receiving, and Jordan Davis got the lone sack. As for the Giants, I mean, Jackson Dart had a pretty solid game, 195 yards passing and a touchdown. Cameron Scatterbo had 98 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. Jackson Dart also ran it in for a touchdown. Wan'Dale Robinson caught his lone touchdown. And then defensively, they got after Jalen Hurts 3 times. Peeking at the next game, we got the Broncos and the Jets. And honest to God, this game was probably the most disgusting game I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen a lot of disgusting games in my time. Bo Nix had 174 yards passing and a touchdown. J.K. Dobbins was non-existent with 40 yards. Evan Ingram led all receivers slash tight ends with 42 yards passing, and defensively, got after Justin Fields 9 times. As for the Jets, I mean, things like this is why I was not a huge fan of them losing Aaron Rodgers, you know. But anyway, Justin Fields had 45 yards passing. Breece Hall had 59 yards rushing. I think he had like a fumble as well. And defensively, they got after Bo Nix only once. Moving on to the first morning game, we got the Seahawks and the Jags. And honest to God, I know people want to talk about this about Sam Darnold continuing to get better and better with 25 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, and JSN with 162 yards and a touchdown, and Cooper Kupp finally getting the board. But let's talk about this defense, because this defense I heard got after to Trevor Lawrence 7 times, which is nuts. As for the Jags, I mean, Trevor had a pretty solid game, 258 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Travis Etienne was shut down. Brian Thomas finally got on the board with 90 yards receiving and a touchdown. Tim Patrick also had a touchdown. And defensively, they only got after Sam Darnold only once, which is kind of crazy. Peeking at the next game, we got the Chargers and the Dolphins, and this game felt like a back and forth kind of game. I mean, Herbert had a bounce back game with 264 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Kamani Vidal had himself a day with 125 yards rushing. Ladd McConkey had, I think, the game-winning touchdown with 100 yards receiving. Kamani Vidal also had a receiving touchdown, and defensively, they got after Tua twice and picked him up 3 times. One by Benjamin St-Juste, Tony Jefferson. And who wait? Tony Jefferson. And of course, Darwin James. As for the Dolphins, I mean, Tua did not play well. He had 25 yards passing, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions. Devon Achane had himself a really good game, 120 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle had 95 yards receiving. Darren Waller had a touchdown. And defensively, despite how bad the Chargers O-line is, they only got after Justin Herbert only once. Peeking at the next game, we got the Rams and the Ravens, and honest to God, this was probably the best defensive game I've seen from the Ravens all season. I mean, Matthew Stafford, 181 yards passing and a touchdown. Kyron Williams had 50 yards rushing and a touchdown. Tyler Higbee had 40 yards and a touchdown. Devontae Adams and both Puka Nacua were both shut down. And defensively, they got after Cooper Rush 4 times and picked him off once. And that pickup was picked off. That interception was by Quentin Lake. As for the Ravens, I mean, you can see they're nothing without Lamar. Um, but Derrick Henry had 122 yards rushing, and defensively, as I said before, they got after Matthew Stafford twice, which is impressive. Peeking at the next game, we got probably we got America's game of the week right here, in my opinion. The Cowboys and the Panthers. This game was electric. I mean, look at this. Dak, 261 yards and 3 touchdowns. Javonte Williams was shut down, unfortunately. Thanks a lot, Javonte. George Pickens had himself a day, 168 yards passing and a touchdown. Jake Ferguson had a touchdown. Hunter Lupe had a touchdown. Defensively, they got after Bryce Young only once, and Donovan Wilson intercepted him. And yeah. As for the Panthers, I mean, Bryce Young had a pretty okay game, 190 yards passing, 3 touchdowns and interception. Rico Dowdle, I mean, Rico was having himself a game, 38 carries for 183 yards. He also had receiving touchdowns. Torrey McMillan had 2 touchdowns, and defensively, they didn't register a single sack at all, which is kind of crazy. Peeking at the next morning game, we got the Patriots and the Saints, and honest to God, later, I'm gonna say it later in this video, but here's a little sneak peek. The Patriots are back. I don't know if you've seen this GIF before. You know the GIF, "We're so back," or like There's a video out there that says like we are back, but like in a singing voice. I can't do a singing voice right now, but that's basically what it is right now. Drake May, 261 yards and 3 touchdowns. He actually played really well in my fantasy league. Always draft a backup quarterback, you guys. Always. Kishon Boutte had 2 touchdowns. Demario Douglas had a touchdown. And defensively, they got after Spencer Rattler twice. As for the Saints, Spencer Rattler was okay. I mean, 227 yards passing and passing. Taysom Hill had a touchdown. Chris Olave had 90 yards receiving. And then defensively, they got after Drake May only once. And to the for the final morning game, we got the Browns and the Steelers. And honest to God, this Steelers team feels a little bit different. I mean, look at this. Dylan Gabriel, 29 for 52 for 229 1 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Quinshon Judkins was shut down, which was, I think, the key for the Steelers defense. Harold Fangio at 81 yards receiving. Jerry Jeudy at 43 yards passing. And defensively, they did not get out to Aaron Rodgers, which is kind of crazy, you know. And then Andre Smythe had all 9 points for the Cleveland Browns. As for the Steelers, I mean, Aaron had himself a game, 235 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Warren was kind of shut down a little bit, but he actually, when I watched him, because I watched a little bit of this game, he played pretty well. You know, DK Metcalf obviously had a touchdown. Connor Hayward had a touchdown. And defensively, they got after Dylan Gabriel 6 times, which is kind of nuts. Moving on to our next first afternoon game, we got the Titans and the Raiders. Little did we know that this was going to be Brian Callahan's last game coaching the Tennessee Titans. I mean, Cam Ward was solid, 229 yards passing, and a touchdown in INT. Uh, David Martin Robinson had a touchdown, and then defensively they got after Geno Smith twice, and Cody Barton had the lone interception. As for the Raiders, I mean, Geno had an okay game, 174 yards passing and a touchdown and an INT. Ashton Genty had 75 yards and a touchdown. Michael Mayer had a touchdown, but Trey Tucker led all receiving groups with 70 yards. And defensively, they got after Cam Ward 5 times. Peeking at our next game, we got the 49ers and the Bucks, and unfortunately, the 49ers, it seems like they can't catch a break. I mean, not only did they lose again, they lost, but they lost Fred Warner. I honestly at this point just feel bad for them. You know, even though I hate this team for the burning passion, I feel bad for this team with the amount of injury luck. Mac Jones had 347 yards. He also threw 2 interceptions. McCaffrey was okay. He had 54 yards rushing and a touchdown. Kendrick Bourne had himself a day, 142 yards receiving, and defensively, they only got after Baker Mayfield only once. Feel bad for Fred Warner, man. Feel bad for Fred. As for the Bucks, I mean, Baker is on a heater right now. 256 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Rashad White had a rushing touchdown. Sean Tucker had a rushing touchdown. Cameron Johnson had 64 yards receiving and a touchdown. Shout out to my boy, Tez Johnson. You know, all love for the University of Oregon. 45 yards receiving, and a touchdown. And defensively, they got after Mac Jones 5 times. 6 times what? But yeah. As for the next team, we got the Bengals and the Packers. And all I gotta say is I am not impressed with the Packers. I am not, as you guys know, I'm a diehard Packers fan. This game was probably one of the worst wins I've ever seen this team play before, and that's saying a lot considering that I've been a fan of this team for almost like a decade and a half. So like this was one of the worst ones I've seen them play, you know. You know. But anyway, Joe Flacco had 219 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Jamar Chase had a ridiculous touchdown, 94 yards receiving and a touchdown. Tanner Hudson had a touchdown, and defensively, They only got after Jordan Love only once, and Geno Stone picked him off once. But yeah, as for the Packers, I mean, J-Lo was okay, 259 yards passing and a touchdown and an interception. Josh Jacobs had 93 yards rushing and two touchdowns. Matthew Golden had balled out, with 86 yards receiving. Tucker Kraft had 43 yards receiving and a touchdown. And defensively, we only got after Joe Flacco only once, which I'm not gonna lie is very embarrassing. Peeking at the next afternoon game. Oh no, Sunday Night Football. We got the Lions and the Chiefs. And honest to God, this game felt close, but unfortunately, the Lions, they couldn't do anything. Jared Goff had 203 yards passing and two touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs was solid, but then just was shut down with 65 yards rushing. Jameson Williams had a touchdown. Sam Laporta had a touchdown. And defensively, despite their defense playing pretty well, they gained three sacks. It just wasn't enough. As for the Chiefs, 250 Patrick had 257 yards passing, three touchdowns. Isaiah Pacheco had 51 yards rushing, and Mahomes also ran it in for a touchdown. Hollywood Brown had two touchdowns. Xavier Worthy had a touchdown, and defensively they only got after um, Jared Goff only once. Peeking at the Monday Night Football, we got the Bills and the Falcons, and honest to God, this game, I don't even know what happened. Like Bills fans, let me know in the comments what happened in this game. I mean, Josh had 180 yards passing, two touchdowns, and two interceptions. James Cook was good, but he was shut down, unfortunately. Ray Davis had a touchdown, Dawson Knox had a touchdown, and defensively, they got after Michael Penix Jr. only twice in this game. As for the Falcons, I mean, Michael Penix Jr. balled out. He had 250 yards passing and two touchdowns and a touchdown. Bijan Robinson had a rushing touchdown, and Tyler Algier. Fortunately, Bijan cooked me this week in fantasy. Drake London had himself a game with a touchdown. And defensively, they got after Josh Allen four times and picked him up twice by D'Angelo Malone and D. Alfred. And finally, the nightcap. We got the Bears and the Commanders, and this was a barn burner to finish. I mean, Caleb had a very solid game, 259 yards passing and a touchdown, 252 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Swift balled out 108 yards rushing. Caleb Williams also had a rushing touchdown. DeAndre Swift also had a receiving touchdown. And defensively, they got after Jaden Daniels twice in this game. Jaquan Brisker had the lone interception. But yeah. As for the Commanders, I mean, Jaden had a pretty good game. He had 211 yards passing, three touchdowns, and an interception. Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt had 61 yards rushing. Chris Moore and Zach Ertz both caught the lone touchdown. And defensively, they got after Caleb Williams three times. And that is my week 6 NFL reactions. So now we're going to briefly talk about the Patriots and how now I'm officially buying some Patriots stock. I mean, look, if you guys remember in the preseason, I said that this team was not ready to make it to the playoffs, but I did see them getting 10 wins just because, the AFC is brutal and stuff like that. Now, as I look back 6 weeks later, I'm ready to say that I'm sorry, Patriots fans. Like I have two of my closest friends, my friend Nico, my friend Max, and are diehard Patriots fans. I'm sorry I doubt you guys. Drake May is playing as the best I've seen him play. You know, Mike Vrabel seems like the best coach they've had since Bill Belichick, which is kind of crazy since the only coach I could think of when I think of the Patriots are like Bill Belichick, Gerard Mayo, and now Mike Vrabel. I do wish that they've been amazing, and I am like Patriots fans, I am sorry for doubting you guys. I do think now that you guys will make the playoffs. I'm not gonna double down, and when you guys miss the playoffs, I'm just gonna say, hey, this team is gonna be coming back, better than ever. But yeah, so do you think the Patriots will make the playoffs this year? Let me know in the comments section below. All right, transitioning to our next topic, we're going to be briefly talking about the Steelers and how far I think they can go. And as I said before, I really like the Steelers team, you know. I still think Baltimore would win that division in the preseason, as I said, because I just think Baltimore has like a lot of good pieces on their team. But after 6 weeks in, I'm ready to say right now that the Steelers are finally going to win a playoff game this year. I don't think they're going to go one and done. They're going to finally win a playoff game this year. The only two issues, like I said before, I even said this to my brother, like I think a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, about what I think a successful season is for the Steelers with Aaron as their quarterback, is can they run the football effectively? Like, I'm not saying they should be like the 49ers or the Eagles where they are run the football dominant, but can they run the football effectively? Number two, can Aaron stay healthy? So far, he's looked pretty healthy so far, you know? And number three, and this is kind of the big thing for the Steelers, which is can Aaron handle an emotional loss? Now you might be wondering, like, what do you mean by an emotional loss? So when you play in the AFC North, in that division, as Alfred said to quote Alfred from Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, which by the way is still a great movie, you know, he said, and I quote, "You're gonna go to war in that division." I know he said it in a different context, but basically he said, "You're gonna go to war." And to me, that's basically the key. You're gonna go to war in this division. It doesn't matter if you're playing against, like a bad team. You're gonna go to war. Obviously, you got to go to war against Baltimore twice, because Baltimore, I think, is still the best team in that division. I know injuries have bit them in the ass so hard, but they're the best team in that division. Cincinnati, I think Cincinnati is gonna fight, and then Cleveland is just like they're gonna hang around and be annoying. And as many of you guys know, I'm a die-hard Aaron Rodgers fan. Like Aaron Rodgers is like one of my favorite football players of all time. He's the type of guy that he can't handle emotional loss. He can't, you know. So can he do it? And I think he can. You saw it last week against a divisional rival, against the Cleveland Browns. Granted, the Browns were not that good offensively, and defensively they couldn't get after him. But that's what I mean. Can he handle emotional loss? We shall see. So moving on to our next segment, we're gonna get into our week 7. I know it's crazy, you guys. Week 7 NFL picks. All right. Crazy how time flies. But yeah, last week I went I went 9-6, totaling my record to 26, 33, 43, 49, 58, 58 wins and 3, 6, 15, 22, 30, 36, 58, 30, and 1. Now, unfortunately, this week there's a lot of good games on this week, so bear with me. All right, so let us start with the first game to kick off week 7. We got the Steelers at the Bengals. I will take the Steelers to win this game 31-20. I expect a monster performance from DK Metcalf because I don't think the Bengals secondary have an answer for him. I do expect Joe T. Higgins and Jamar Chase to ball out, but I have to take the better quarterback here. Give me the Steelers to win this game 31-20. Next game up, we got the Rams at the Jags. At the time I'm recording this video right now, Puka Nacua is a will see for this game. Even if he doesn't play, I am still going to take the Rams to win this game 28-27. I expect this game to be a shootout. This game is going to be much better. That sounds good. Much better than the last week's game, the Broncos and the Jets. All right. I just think both offenses are great. But as I said before, which quarterback do I trust more? I trust Matthew Stafford more than I do trust Trevor Lawrence. Give me the Rams, sorry, to win 28-24. Next game up, we got the Eagles at the Vikings. This is going to be a very good game to watch, you know. I am, however, going to take the Eagles to win this game. I think this is a bounce back game for them. I think Jalen balls out. I think Saquon is going to be like an FU kind of game, you know, and he's going to unleash chaos on that Vikings defense, you know. I do expect the Vikings to keep it close because that offense, I think, can put up numbers, but give me the Eagles in a bounce back game. Give me them to win 30 to 21. Next up, we got the Patriots at the Titans. To me, this is America's game of the week. You know, Mike Vrabel coming back to Tennessee. Regardless, I am going to take the Patriots to win this game. I think, you know, the Titans, as I said, they fired Brian Callahan, their coach, you know, and Mike Vrabel. We know how it ended there. Things were not pretty for them, and I think he's going to tell his team, we're going to punch them in the freaking mouth. Give me the Patriots to win this game 38 to 17. Next game up, we got the Panthers and the Jets. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm gonna take the Panthers to win this game 38 to 13. Rico Dowdle is about to into Rico Lynch in this game. Next up, we got the Saints and the Bears. I am going to take the Bears, unfortunately, to win this game 27-23. I think the Saints are going to hang around and be annoying, but as I hate saying this, because I do, I trust Caleb Williams more than I trust Spencer Rattler. Give me the Bears to win 27-23. Next up, we got the Raiders and the Chiefs. I'm going to take the Chiefs to win this game 30 to 21. All right. I expect the Raiders to hang around and be annoying because it's a divisional rival, of course. But as I hate saying this again, I trust Patrick Mahomes and I trust Geno Smith. Next up, we got the Giants and the Broncos. This is gonna be a very good game. I'm not gonna lie, but I am gonna take the Broncos to win this game 27-20. I expect the Giants to keep it close. All right. They've shown me these last few weeks that they can play with the big boys. But as of right now, I trust Bo Nix and I trust Jackson Dart. Give me the Broncos to win 27 to 20. Next up, we got the Packers and the Cardinals. Of course, I'm gonna take the Packers here to win this game. To win this game, I expect this game to be an ass whooping. All right, no more cute bullshit. All right, Matt. I do think the Cardinals are gonna keep it close, but give me the team that has the better defense and the Packers. Give me the Packers to win 31-20, 31 to 20. Next game up, we got the Dolphins and the Browns. Do I have to pick a winner for this one? You know, I'm gonna take the Dolphins to win this game. I think sorry about that. I just think the Dolphins right now, they're the much better team. I do expect the Browns to keep it close because of that defense, but give me the Dolphins to win this game 23-20. Next game up, we got the Commanders and the Cowboys. This one was a very hard pick for me to choose, prediction for me to choose. I am gonna take, who do I pick in this one, man? You know, I'll take the Cowboys. I'll take the Cowboys to win this game. I do expect the Commanders to make it close because the Commanders have been playing really well, you know, even though they have not looked good. I expect this to be an offensive shootout. Give me the Cowboys to win this game 31-30. Next game up, we got the Colts and the Chargers. I'm sorry, but I am going to take the Chargers to win this game 27-24. This is going to be a very good game. All right, Daniel Jones has been playing really well, but give me the team that has the better quarterback and Justin Herbert 27-24. Next up, we got the Falcons and the Niners. This is going to be a very good game. Fortunately, I have to take the Falcons to win this game 27-17. Look, I think they could put up 49ers can put up points, but I don't think they're gonna have an answer for Bijan Robinson and that defensive attack, that running attack, you know. Give me the Falcons to win this game 27-17. Next game up, we got the Texans and the Seahawks. This is my actual upset pick of the week. I'm going to take the Texans to win this game 27-23. I expect this to be a defensive shootout, but give me the Texans to ball out in this stadium. Give me the Texans 27-17. And finally, the nightcap, the Bucks and the Lions. This is going to be a good game. This is probably going to be the highest scoring game we've had in a while. Give me the Bucks to win 40-31. I expect this to be an offensive shootout, but Baker Mayfield is a badass man. All right, give me the Bucks to win 40-31. And that is my week 7 NFL predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video because I enjoyed making it. If you did, please give a like, subscribe, turn that post notification bell. Next week, season 3 of the Courtside podcast is officially dropping next week. I'm either going to drop it on next Sunday or next Monday, depending on how my schedule looks like. My month of May video will probably, hopefully, I'm going to try out Google Chrome to record there on either tomorrow or Friday. But with that being said, I have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay safe and stay warm. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.